If you wanted to lose 10 pounds, what would you do? Would you eat less and do more? Or would you start running? Which, let's face it, we've all been there. But if you do all of this without a plan, not only will you lose fat, you'll lose muscle, but you'll actually gain all of it back. And this is the fat I'm talking about, not the muscle. In this episode today, I'm going to share with you the 6 principles that I teach female equestrians around the world to not only help them drop fat, improve their energy levels, but sustain that level of performance as a time-poor equestrian throughout the year. And the best part is, I'm going to give it all to you today for free. I'm Nika and I help time-poor equestrian females around the world not only improve their energy, but actually transform their body so that they can be the best version of themselves, both in and out of the saddle. Let's dive into the 6 things that you can do to melt fat fast without diets, starving yourselves, feeling so restrictive, having to sweat every day, and then most importantly, destroying your metabolism. Number 1 is reverse engineer the goal. So if it's 10 pound you want to lose, 10 pound by when? A realistic goal will not only ensure that you guarantee your fat loss as soon as possible, but it will help you stay on track. Most of us, when it comes to a little bit of stubborn belly fat, bit of back fat, we're a bit uncomfortable around our arms, and we just think, do you know what, I don't like the way the sports bra feels. I'm not comfortable when I look at myself in pictures, especially when I've got my show jacket on. But we don't actually sit down and think, okay, to feel comfortable within my show jacket, to feel comfortable within my sports bra, so I'm not having to move all over the place because of this stubborn back fat, which, as I've got into my 30s, just seems to creep up from nowhere. The key thing is to start with, when do I want to achieve this fat loss goal by? Why is this important? When you know a date and you know exactly how much you'd like to lose, for example, 10 pound, you can then reverse engineer your lifestyle. And by that, I mean nutrition is so important with fat loss, movement is so important, but the biggest thing that also no one talks about is understanding stress, cortisol levels, and what is going on around your environment. Once you have those 3 things in place and you have that end goal, it is so easy to lose fat. The most common thing I see around the world, especially when it comes to women who are so busy running from appointment to appointment, is that they are so uncomfortable within their body that they have no idea on time frame and actually how much weight they'd like to lose. So once you have that time frame and you know, okay, this is what's happening in this time of my life, it is so easy to put in things about nutrition in terms of how much food you need to be eating, how much movement you need to be doing in between this period, and also if any stress comes up, how to manage that stress straight away instead of it letting affect things like sleep, which we're going to go into in other points. Tip number 2 is prioritize sleep. I don't care how good your diet is or how much movement you're doing. If you are not sleeping on average between 6 to 8 hours every single night and allowing your body to have restorative sleep, fat loss will be so much harder. We have science to show this as well. 30% harder to lose fat if you're averaging under 6 hours of sleep per night. Why is this so important? So when we don't have this good restorative sleep, your cortisol is increased. Now, when cortisol is increased and we don't know how to regulate and manage it, what happens is our body can store fat. It goes into survival protection mode. Not only that, your metabolism is affected, your hormones can become all over the place, and what happens is the brain goes, oh my God, I need energy, I need to function. So the first thing we tend to grab is chocolate, or sweets, or very processed sugary food groups to give us that boost in energy to keep us going, which obviously then impacts and affects how much calories we're eating, and that then has a knock-on effect on how much weight we're gaining. So a really good sleep strategy to have in mind is your body likes a routine. We have circadian rhythms within our body, and this is always connected to the world as well, into nature. So the key thing we need to do is if you want to have your 8 hours sleep, decide what time you want to go to bed. Obviously, this impacts what time we have to get up in the morning. So for example, for me, I like to be lights out by 10 p.m. So I have an alarm at 9:30 p.m. No point having it at 10 p.m. because that's when I need to be asleep. So I have it half an hour before, and within that half an hour, I'm brushing my teeth when the alarm goes off and I'm getting into bed. A really bonus tip, especially for those of us that have weak bladders and we're thinking, I need to get to the toilet in the evening, which disrupts my sleep. My recommendation is to have no water, drink nothing at least 1 hour before bed, even a bit sooner, so that you're not drinking before you go to bed, which is obvious because you go to the toilet. That really helped me as well and ensures that I can just stay in bed for those 6 to 8 hours and get the best chance of sleep. The next thing to do, and this is a really obvious thing, most of you know this already, avoid electronic devices at night. The blue light, avoid really high stimulating things that is activating your brain, activating your body, and this can then affect your ability to sleep well. So no drinking at least an hour before, set an alarm, and avoid blue light and avoid devices before you go to bed. Quality sleep isn't a luxury, it's actually a fast way to accelerate your fat loss. Number 3 is move your body. Our bodies were meant to move. Now, this doesn't mean, I'm going to caveat this by saying, go for loads of running, do loads of HIIT class, exercise every single day in terms of burning yourself out. No, that only leads to an increase in risk. And especially for us women that are over the age of 30, a lot is changing not only from a hormonal perspective, lifestyle, stress. So the biggest thing that you can actually do to keep movement simple, injury risk free, and reduced in terms of the ability to have an injury is walk. So a lot of the clients that I work with, and it's quite important and actually a bonus being an equestrian woman, is we get a lot of steps in anyway, but having an average step over the week count is more achievable than being fixated on having a step count to hit every single day. A lot of the women that I work with, and I'm one myself, where there's some days I'm in and out the car and I actually don't manage to hit my average step count for the day. But then there's other days where I will almost double or triple that step count. So have an average step count over the week and hit that every single week. It honestly doesn't seem like much, but steps, walking, movement are so important when it comes to helping you achieve your fat loss goal. The fourth tip is nutrition. Now, stating the obvious here, right? But nutrition is key with fat loss. I don't mean eating rabbit food. It's the biggest thing I see, and I was there myself with a lot of time poor equestrian women, is that we think, okay, in order to lose fat, I need to just have this lettuce leaf. That's rabbit food. Please eat properly, 3 meals a day, and on your plate of food, you want to have these key ingredients. So depending on how much you want to lose, obviously will affect and depend how many calories you're having in a day. But if you're looking at your plate of food, make your hand into a fist, one fistful of protein, one fistful of carbohydrate, and 2 fistful of veggies. So important with every single meal. And that is just at a basic level. Nutrition, when it comes to things like avoiding seed oils, avoiding things like processed food, not only has such a positive impact on your gut health, it has a positive impact on your hormonal health, and it will fast track your fat loss journey without you having to do much. You can still eat a lot of food within your range, within how much you're wanting to lose. It'll have to be worked out specifically for you, but it is achievable just through eating whole foods and good nutritious whole foods at least 3 times a day. A lot of women that I work with, when it comes to travel, a lot of equestrians would say to me, Nika, there's no good food available, especially because we're going from show to show, we're traveling a lot on the roads, there's just processed foods, and I totally get that. The game changer here is knowledge. So in my free community called the Female Rider Code, available in Skool, check out the link below, click on the description. There is a complete guide, which I give to you completely free, on how to eat properly as a time poor equestrian so that you're not having to rely on food on the side of the road. It all comes down to knowledge. And when you have the knowledge to know, okay, this food has this impact on my gut, This food actually makes me bloat. This food might taste really scrumptious for that 10 minutes of eating it, and then I crash and want to just go to sleep afterwards. That knowledge and understanding what food you can eat will be a game changer when it comes to you not only hitting your fat loss goal, still meaning that you can move from appointment to appointment and do all the shows, do all the travel, but actually you're protecting your gut and hormonal health for the future. The fifth tip is track your progress meticulously. Now, especially if you have never done this correctly, and what I mean by this is if you're guessing and you don't understand the calories of foods, and if you don't understand, okay, on this certain day my weight might fluctuate, this certain day it actually is totally lower than I'd want it to be, there is always reasons for it. The only way you're going to know what's normal for you is if you start tracking. So write this down. Grab a pen, piece of paper, and write this down when it comes to tracking. You want to track your weight, your measurements. So measurements of key areas of your body. Maybe it's your waist, your back, your arms, your thighs, your glutes, wherever you want. Write these measurements down. Take photos, good clear photos in the same clothes, same time of day, same time of the week, every single week. Those three components done over month by month will give you so much understanding on your body personally. And this is why I believe in tailored personal coaching when it comes to you achieving your goal in rapid results. Because these generic plans that when you think, oh, it's free and it must be good because this device has told me it's good, but it is generic for you and your partner and your best friend and your mum, who's a totally different age and hormonal age. This is where a lot of us get almost confused and frustrated when it comes to losing fat. So, keynote there is personalized. Track those three things. Another really important thing when it comes to tracking is calories. Now, I had a very negative relationship when it came to tracking calories because I almost became a bit obsessive with it. Now, there is a fine line with it. What I would say, if you have no idea on calories with food, do it because it gives you a really good understanding of everything that you're putting into your mouth. That includes drink. That includes the things you're cooking, like butter, whatever you're cooking in, olive oil. Make sure that you actually measure that meticulously every single time you put something into your mouth. That is the quickest way to understand how many calories you're eating, which has a significant impact on your fat loss goal. The next point when it comes to tracking, and this is me talking to my women out there who have a cycle or are going through the perimenopausal phase, going into the menopause. Track your symptoms as women because we have fluctuations in our hormones every single day. And the beauty thing is that your body has a pattern. My body has a pattern. Every single client I work with, we establish these patterns so that they get to know their body so well that eventually they don't have to track anything from food because we know and understand their body so well. It's honestly a game changer when it comes to fat loss. The key thing with tracking is that data keeps you on track so that if anything comes up in your life, from chaos to stress to emotions, which can sometimes derail us, take us off focus, when you have the data and you stay consistent with that data, you then have a system in place that grounds you no matter what life throws at you. The sixth tip is planning after fat loss. And I see this all too often. So many women, especially when I'm working with them one-to-one, achieve their goal, no matter what that is. I've helped women when it comes to losing stubborn belly fat. I've helped women who are in the postmenopausal years and have not had a flat stomach in over 30 years say to me, Nika, I've got it. I cannot believe the difference within my figure. I've helped women that have had really bad issues when it comes to going to the toilet maybe once every 3 days to now going regularly and even twice a day, just by the principles that I've taught you here today. The key thing is then once you've reached your goal and you're feeling incredible is having an exit plan. Because a lot of us underestimate how hardwired our habits are, how hardwired our habits were to get us into that position where we felt so uncomfortable in our body. So having an exit strategy and knowing how to slowly adapt your lifestyle to your new body, to the new hormonal regulation, to your new gut health is so fundamental when it comes to keeping off that 10 pound, keeping off whatever goal you've achieved for life. I'm going to throw in a little bonus tip for you here today. If you really want to fast track your results so that you never look back with no regrets, feeling confident not only within your body as an individual, but feeling strong, feeling balanced and secure in the saddle, knowing that you're the best version of yourself for your horse, hire a coach. Hire someone who resonates with you. Hire someone who will fast track you to get you into the body that you know that you want to be. I promise you, I've saved so much of my own energy, time, frustration doing this. And if you're interested in it, comment below or visit the Female Rider Code and send me a message directly.